Welcome back to Hashtag That. I'm Kat Tallman.
And I'm Sam Dorland. From the Grammys to Elmo, we're back with the latest entertainment news updates.
All that and more from Hampton to Hollywood, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
From Hampton to Hollywood,
we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Carl Weathers has died at age 76. Known for his roles as Apollo Creed in the Rocky franchise, his family said in a statement that he died peacefully in sleep but did not give a cause of death. Weathers has a long acting career that ranges from over 80 television and film credits. Weathers is also known for his acting coach role in Arrested Development and the voice of Combat Carl in Toy Story 4. Weathers' legacy continues to live on through his impact on the entertainment industry.
Music group Boy Genius announced they are taking a break for the foreseeable future. Thursday night in Los Angeles, the group alluded to the fact that it was their last show for a while. This announcement was made days before the Grammys, where the group was up for 7 Academy Awards, including Record of the Year, Album of the Year, and Best Alternative Music Album. After releasing their album, The Record, the group was performing at many music festivals, including Coachella, went on an international tour, released 3 music videos directed by Kristen Stewart, as well as appeared on SNL and many interviews. The group was victorious all 2023 and started off the new year with Academy Awards. Boy Genius won 3 Grammys last night, earning trophies for Best Rock Performance and Best Rock Song for Not Strong Enough and Best Alternative Music Album.
The question of the hour, will TikTok be around without their biggest, trendiest sounds? Universal Music Group is now pulling all their artist discography from TikTok due to their contract expiring and not being able to negotiate a better deal. UMG has expressed that TikTok isn't compensating their artists with what they deserve. They also aren't pleased that TikTok encourages AI to basically take away from their artists with AI's voice-generating tools. With this new change, music from Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, Drake, and etc. will now be muted on the app. Noah Khan recently has spoken upon the matter, with him being on UMG, saying how this is taking away from promoting his music. While there seems to be a lot of downsides with this pull, many people see an upside where this is the time for underground artists to actually come up from the ground.
This week, the People's Prince of Sesame Street, Elmo, checked in on all of his friends. His post on X reads, "Elmo just checking in, how's everybody doing?" The responses were definitely beyond Elmo's expectation. People all over the world hilariously confided in Elmo on their existential dread and traumas. The messages were so dark that Elmo followed up by saying that he was glad he asked and that he learned how important it is to ask a friend how they are doing. Elmo's emotional check-in was so widespread that the President of the United States, Joe Biden, got involved by saying, "Our friend Elmo is right. We have to be there for each other, offer help to a neighbor in need, and above all else, ask for help when needed." Jokes about mental health were made about Elmo's social media manager reading all the deprecating posts. Christina Vitas, Quinnipiac alum, is the face behind Elmo's social media. She understands the responses Elmo received and commented, "You're going to be a little more honest because you know a caring friend is listening and genuinely wants to know." The foundation of friendship Elmo has with the world really resonated.
The highly anticipated Agent Arnold film was released, and here with their thoughts are Ryan Zizak and Michael Katz-Flynn.
Hey hashtag, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Michael. Over the weekend, we saw Matthew Vaughn's new spy adventure comedy, Argylle, and we're here to break it down.
Argylle's plot surrounds a spy thriller novelist who gets roped into a conspiracy after her stories correctly predict real-life events. The film has an impressive lineup of stars like Bryce Dallas Howard, Dua Lipa, Henry Cavill, Bryan Cranston, Samuel L. Jackson, Sam Rockwell, and many more. A lot of the biggest names in the film, like Dua Lipa and John Cena, are a lot more in cameo territory than in the main cast.
Despite the massive star power in the film and its $200 million budget, Argylle isn't performing as well as Universal Studios might have hoped, gaining a measly estimated opening weekend of $35 million. Not super impressive compared to Matthew Vaughn's other filmography like fan favorite Kingsman: The Secret Service, Kick-Ass, which while appearing to underperform has achieved a dedicated cult following that Argylle might struggle to achieve in the future, and X-Men: First Class. In recent years, moviegoers have proven that it may not be enough to simply have an amazing cast to get people to go to theaters, and it looks like Argylle is shaping up to be another example of this trend. While it wasn't exactly a parody, Argylle is kind of a silly homage to spy movies, and we see it take a lot of inspiration from the genre. The first half had a lot of switching back and forth between the book world and real life, which dragged out a bit, but once we understood what was really going on, the story picked up and became more engaging. One thing that people were very mixed about was the constant twist after twist during the second half. It isn't really meant to be taken seriously, but in order for a twist to be good, it has to have an impact, and with the insane amount of twists, a lot of them got contradicted not too long after, which took away from their value, giving audiences the mindset of what will be the next twist.
And the difference between the two halves of the film can be found in the editing, camera techniques, and visual effects, which all pick up as the movie progresses. However, the visual effects themselves could have been crisper, especially considering the film's budget. Argylle does do several interesting things visually, but it often felt artificial compared to other films of its caliber. But despite any problems we had with this picture, we all found loads of enjoyment in its silly and zany plot. If you go in expecting a prestige spy thriller like James Bond or Mission Impossible, you will be disappointed. But if you want to have a good time and shut your brain off for a couple hours, you'll surely see value in catching Argylle at your local cinema. That's it for us. We'll be back after this brief commercial break.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Samantha Nunes is here with what we can expect with this month from the music industry. What do you have for us, Samantha?
Hey hashtag, it's Samantha, and I'm here to discuss the most highly anticipated albums dropping this month. Up first, we have the upcoming album of rap super duo Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign. The album Vultures comes nearly 2 years after West released Donda 2 and Ty Dolla $ign released Cheers to the Best Memories. Last December, West apologized to social media for his 2022 anti-Semitic remarks, though there are more comments that go back to date since 2016. The songs off the album were teased at a restaurant in Florida, where the duo brought a handful of artists and West's daughter, Northwest. The album is set to be released on February 9th. This will not be West and Ty Dolla $ign's last album, as they plan to release Vultures Volume 2 and 3. Next, we have Usher's upcoming 9th album, Coming Home. Last fall, Usher discussed the album with Zane Lowe on Apple Music, calling the album, quote, a love letter once again to the legacy of my career, end quote. The album's release date was announced last September, the same day Usher announced he was headlining Super Bowl 58. The album is set to drop on February 9th. Last, we have Jennifer Lopez's 9th album, This Is Me Now. In 2002, Lopez and Affleck's relationship caught the public eye's attention, leading their breakup in 2004. Lopez and Affleck rekindled their romance after 17 years apart. Lopez discussed the inspiration of her upcoming album, saying, quote, people think they know things about what happened to me along the way, the men I was with, but they really have no idea, and a lot of the times they get it so wrong. There's a part of me that was hiding a side of myself from everyone, and I feel like I'm at a place in my life finally where I have something to say about it, end quote. The album is set to be released on February 16th, just 2 days after Valentine's Day. That's all from me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Madly successful Grace Doyle is here with a review of last night's Grammy Awards. Take it away, Grace.
Thanks, guys. The 66th annual Grammy ceremony marked a historic night in music history, and I'm here to give you the full rundown. Female artists dominated the airwaves this past year, and that was reflected in last night's wins. 7 out of the 8 nominees for Album of the Year were women, and all of the winners in the legendary Big Four categories were female. Miley Cyrus won her first and second Grammy last night for Record of the Year and Best Pop Performance of the Year for her hit song Flowers. In her acceptance speech, Cyrus stated that she hoped the achievement wouldn't change a thing because her life was, quote, beautiful yesterday, end quote. I can't mention awards without talking about Taylor Swift. Time's Person of the Year made history again last night as she took home her 4th Album of the Year award for her 2022 release, Midnights. She is the first person to achieve this honor, surpassing the likes of Frank Sinatra, Paul Simon, and Stevie Wonder. During her acceptance speech, Swift said, quote, "For me, the award is the work. All I want to do is keep doing this," end quote. Earlier in the night, Swift also revealed a 2-year secret, the release of her 11th studio album titled The Tortured Poets Department, scheduled to release April 19th. Of course, it wouldn't be the Grammys without some stellar performances. After Dua Lipa opened up the show with an electric medley, Tracy Chapman joined Luke Combs on stage for her performance of her 1988 hit, Fast Car. Billie Eilish and brother Phineas also took the stage for an emotional rendition of their smash hit, What Was I Made For?, a song for which they later won the Song of the Year award. In a touching tribute, a myriad of artists paid respects to some of the musicians lost this past year, including Tony Bennett and Tina Turner. Finally, legend Joni Mitchell took the stage for the first time in Grammy history for a rendition of Both Sides Now, and Billy Joel premiered his first new release in 30 years. That's it for last night's Grammy review. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.com.
We're back with this week's New York Minute, and here to fill it in with all the latest East Coast entertainment news is Olivia Gruber.
Thanks, guys. We're going straight to the Big Apple for our first story. Peter Pan the Musical is making major changes on their Broadway show, examining misogyny and a stain on Native culture. Native American playwright Larissa Fasthorse and director Lonnie Price are working on a new and inclusive version. Price has admitted that he has been trying to get a revival of Peter Pan together for years. Fasthorse said, quote, "My goal was that every child comes to this show and will leave the theater and believe that they can look out their window and see Peter fly by," end quote. Quote, "Not a Victorian child's window, not a wealthy child's window, not a white child's window, but they can believe that their window will show that Peter will come to them." The Broadway musical will also now take place in the United States in modern day. Sam and Kat, do you think Peter Pan should be kept original or adapted, and why?
I really appreciate what they're doing. I think it's great to be inclusive and introduce Peter Pan to a new audience, a younger audience. My personal opinion is that I feel as though it could give the opportunity for new creatives to give what this new Peter Pan wanted to give, and I I'm tired of seeing the same things over and over again. I quite frankly think a new story could come, but good for Peter Pan. Happy for him. I'm sure it'll be great. What do you think, Sam?
Pizza.
I love pizza.
I mean, in my opinion, when I've seen Peter Pan, I like the way it is when it was the way it is. But, you know, something new is always good, and, you know, that's basically it. All right, so moving on, sticking with the Broadway subject, The Summer I Turned Pretty star Lola Tung is back on stage. Tung joins the cast on Hadestown in the role of Eurydice on February 9th on a limited run. Tung has had her eyes set on Broadway since she studied at what New York City calls the School of Fame, LaGuardia High School. She says, quote, "I don't know that Broadway became my goal because of the school that I went to, but it definitely made me love theater even more, which it made it even clearer that this was something I wanted to pursue," end quote. Tung will replace Solea Pfeiffer as Eurydice, starring opposite Jordan Fisher as Orpheus. Sam and Kat, what are your thoughts on actors transitioning from film and TV to theater?
I really admire an actor that can do both television in a studio and both on the stage on Broadway, whether it's like just a play or just like a musical or even just them singing on TV. I feel like it really expands their talent of a triple threat, double threat, quadruple threat. I feel like it's and it's also like useful for like their resume of like, I can do this, but I can also do that. I don't know, what you think, Kat?
I think we see it all the time. I really can respect a performer that really is versatile in their talent. So for this actress to be taking this leap, I only hope to see more out of her. I'm really excited to see what this uncovers for the rest of her acting career. Thank you, Liv. What do you think?
For me, film and TV is amazing, and you know, I think it's amazing that, you know, people can get adjusted to theater and want to go into theater with, you know, film and TV background on them. So I support it all the way. But that's unfortunately all the time that we have left for New York Minute. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. It's here. It's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why? My. Oh.
Hello. We have a fun little, you know, pop moment for you guys. It captures, you know, the essence of really music. So this week, Kat and I, we're going to be playing a game called #DebateThat, Celebrity Feud Edition. Let's get started.
So number one is Meg Thee Stallion versus Nicki Minaj, which is very current. It's very unfortunate. It began right at the beginning of this week where we started to report, so that's why there's like not a package on it, because it's kind of an awkward period of time. But
I have a lot of notes. I am a Barb.
I as well.
It's very hard to be a Barb right now. I am very disappointed with the Queen's actions. But if we are talking about rap music, Nicki Minaj is swiping Megan Thee Stallion from the horse fields. Next topic.
What? Well, I didn't. Just as a representative, I am a Barb, and I don't want to lie, and I don't want to act like I am okay with this behavior that she is displaying. But I won't lie and say that Meg, it's going to be her year.
She is taking this very well. I props to Meg. She's very unbothered. She's very mature about the situation. Nicki Minaj is not raising her child right now, and she's going back and forth on Instagram Live.
Meg is going to be going on tour this summer, and there's so much going on for her. She is teasing this new album. I'm really expecting great things for Meg.
And the tour. Nicki, I don't know, but I'm gonna stop talking about Nicki Minaj before I raise my blood pressure. Kanye versus Taylor.
That's our next topic.
You know how Quinnipiac feels about their Taylor.
We love Taylor Swift here. I think putting the two together obviously is just meant to talk about the pop culture reference, because quite frankly, I don't think you could put the two together as performers just since they're in different genres and all that.
I agree.
But a lot of time has passed, and we have grown. And I'm mostly talking about the adult at the time. Kanye has grown more. Taylor was a young kid at the time, so I mean, she did a great job at the time, and she's doing a great job now. I'm not a really big Swiftie. I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but what'd she do? She minds her own business. She does a good job, and she's a poet. I mean, keep going.
Hey, they're both amazing artists. I'm not a Swiftie myself, but I'll recognize talent when I see talent. Taylor's an artist.
Respect.
Kanye's a lyrical genius. So, that's my topic. Ooh.
Another pop culture dilemma.
You can't really compare the two. I don't really think you can compare the two. This is obviously from Miley What's Good. If you don't know what Miley's What's Good is, you gotta get away from the rock you're living under. Everybody knows what that is.
Nicki Minaj is pop culture. So I can't argue that she knows how to get conversation. I think it is a simple fact that a lot of celebrities know that bad attention is attention. So we see this with a lot of Nicki. We could talk about this with any Nicki and versus anybody. We could talk about Cardi B as well as Miley What's Good and who we talked about before, Meg Thee Stallion. Nicki will talk craziness and get people talking, but I mean, I can't really think of people with a level head that are like, okay, yeah, you're right. Miley, what's good? Yeah. Like, come on, let the girl have a
she's gonna say what's on her mind. It's something I can applaud, but it's something like you gotta pull back. Like you're 40-year-old with a child. You can't be talking about Megan's dead mother.
Grown, and you're getting mean. So I mean, we're a university students. This is a university show, and we know to treat people with respect. Nicki, if you're watching, I respect you, and I want you to respect others as well.
I get about Megan's dead mother. It's not good.
So our next topic. Mariah Carey and Jennifer Lopez, another cultural feud, but I also think it's one-sided.
This is what I will say. What are you
gonna say, Sam?
I love me some J-Lo. I love J-Lo down. She is the queen for the Latinas.
Where are you going?
She just does not do it for me. I don't know. I mean, I just think recently she's not making, why is she still making music? Just go on red carpets and look beautiful. She's making remixes with Lotto. What's going on?
Have you seen, there is a movie trailer that J-Lo made.
To the music video of that Can't Get Enough song. Of the wedding? Is that what you're referencing?
She released a trailer of a movie that she's starring in, releases music for.
She's still acting.
Yes, and she made this crazy trailer. It is kind of ridiculous. It is like the alpha male for J-Lo.
I think
it is
J-Lo,
crazy content.
She needs to keep her name as it is, and she needs to stop working.
She's so interesting.
Mariah Carey is a legend. She has a voice like no other. She was the greats with Whitney, Beyonce. Mariah Carey is a legend.
It's an interesting
pop diva
to put the two together.
Pop diva.
And our last one is our favorite controversy.
Do we know the video of I Make Music for the No.
Oh, that one. As much as I love her, she has a lot of conversation on Instagram Live. So I mean, celebrities at Instagram Live love to use that platform to vocalize how they're feeling on things. So I mean,
She's another celeb artist though, like with the Flo Millis and the Doechis.
What are you trying to say?
She's known, but I feel like no one really like tunes in unless she has like a pop song on TikTok.
Oh, I'm tuned in.
I mean, of course, we're fans, but give Azealia
There
her
was an
flowers.
interview one time where someone asked her, what type of people do you make music for? And I am someone she makes music for. I love it. I love her music.
What's that supposed to mean? But yeah, this was a great little celebrity feud, and I'm glad that we did this. Speaking of music, the greatest night in pop captures the details behind the We Are the World recording, and here with all the details is Zoe Matzel.
Hey hashtag, it's Zoe. Netflix just released a new documentary of the behind the scenes of global sensation We Are the World, called The Greatest Night in Pop. This beyond legendary project brought in the biggest names in the industry in order to raise money for African families. The film features the first-hand accounts of several of the original stars from the project. First, Lionel Richie takes us back to the 80s, recalling the night that changed everything. It all started at the root of the issue. The starvation in Africa was being majorly underrepresented in mainstream media. This is when Richie heard from Ken Kragen, who received a call from the man behind the idea, Harry Belafonte. Harry called to say, I need you. We have white folks save the black folks, but we don't have black folks save the black folks. That's a problem. We need to save our own people from hunger. And so it began. Quincy Jones had worked with all the biggest names and was the man for the job when it came to this big of a project. Now there was a lot of pressure on the song itself to live up to these legacies. As Quincy Jones put it, man, we've got the most beautiful artists in the world. It would be awful to produce this record with this many great people on it and it not work because you don't have the right song. Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson wrote the song together as they knew each other way back from their Motown days. Although they were so close, they soon came to realize they had never written a song together. With Quincy Jones, it had to be a real showstopper. As Lionel said, trying to get 40 superstars together in the same place at the same time was impossible, really. And when were the forces of this star-studded cast ever convened only almost all in LA? The AMAs coincidentally hosted by a certain Lionel Richie. So on January 28, 1985, after the 12th annual AMAs, the group all reconvened at 10 o'clock at night. When it came time to actually record, the sheer number of famous artists in the room was staggering. The tension in the room was palpable. They only had one night to get it right. The film goes into pretty deep detail on the interactions and obstacles of the night. From who is hitting what notes to the famous check your ego at the door sign to the real reason for the show. The film really covers it all. But they were able to get through it all together for the common goal, being able to help those starving and needy in Africa by creating something beautiful for everyone to hear. It became an absolute global phenomenon. USA for Africa raised a total of over $60 million for humanitarian aid, and there's over $130 million today. If I'm being honest, the film really tugged at my heartstrings. It was beautifully done, and honestly, I think we can learn from the change that these people were able to enact in this world, especially today. That's all I have. Back to you guys after this.
That's all we have this week on #that.
Make sure to follow us on all our social media accounts to stay up to date.
I'm Sam Dorland.
And I'm Kat Tallman. From the producers, talent, and everyone working hard behind the scenes, thank you so much for watching #that, and we'll see you again next week.